Hey everybody, it's Yasmin here. I haven't done my chanting yet. I'll do that a bit later, but I wanted to hop online and say hello. I actually have a bit of a pounding heart. I just spoke to the big head of Hay House all over the world, Reed Tracy. And yeah, so it's always a bit nerve-wracking speaking to someone like him, and he just told me something which I didn't know actually. I'll tell you in a minute. I am going to do a card today because I didn't do a card yesterday. How is everyone? I'm just giving everyone a chance to hop on actually because I'm seeing people joining. So yes, I just spoke to Reed, and it's very nerve-wracking when you speak to your boss. Does anyone else there have that experience when they have to speak to, you know, I mean, he's not really my boss, but he is in a way. It was an interview for his podcast, which is going to go out on October 19. He let me pick the date. Anyway, he told me the diary is selling really well. So if you want a copy, you better grab one because it's limited edition. And it's really selling really well. That's amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. The diary is so beautiful, says Diane Annette on Instagram. Thank you so much. Yes. Oh, Moss, you got your diary this morning. How amazing. I've actually been we're asking people if they want to be ambassadors. So I'll talk about that later. And I'll just mention here, we haven't closed off the competition to win a reading with me yet. I think we'll close it off in a week or so. So if you haven't signed up, if you don't have your diary yet, click the link on the Facebook. Otherwise, just hop onto my Facebook. There'll be a page there. My brain's all blown. I'm just going to do a card today because I'm so I really like Reed. I don't know if any of you know Reed Tracy from Hay House, and he's really tall, and he's got this American accent, which dare I try and say it. It's like, hello Yasmin, how are you doing? It's Reed here. It's like the best accent ever. Liz, yes, the diary is a life guide. Oh, I wish I'd spoken to you. I wish you'd said that before I got interviewed. I could have told him because he was asking me about the diary. So there's a couple of things with the diary. Basically, win a reading, description above, and we're looking for people who get the diary to be ambassadors, which basically is a simple thing I'll tell you about later. I'm just going to do a card because Sally Cowan, I love Reed's voice. Exactly. His voice is amazing. His voice is amazing. And he does a podcast. So if you've never listened to it, it's the Heal Your Life podcast. So take some rescue remedies, says Stella. Probably a good idea. Or I might just go for a swim. Yes, Pitty says, yes, a publishing cowboy. Yes. He sounds like a cowboy. He sounds like a cowboy, but he's not a cowboy. He's an accountant. And the story with Reed Tracy, which I think everyone's allowed to know because he's told it loads of times when I've seen him, he was an accountant, and he was working in an office, I think in LA, and across the hall from this, woo-woo lady who was all into healing and angels and chakras and meditating, called Louise Hay. And there's a dog. And so eventually they got talking, as you do with people who work on, in the same corridor in a building, in a random industrial building, but obviously it wasn't random. And eventually I think Louise said to him, will you do our books? I think it started like that. So he was like, okay, yeah, I'll do the books. I suppose she became a client. I'm not too sure of the exact details. And eventually they started working together, and eventually he, went up and up and up in the company. And then when Louise passed away a few years ago, very sadly, but I'm very glad that I got a chance to meet her before that happened. He's now the head of the whole company. So there you go. You should never let a chance go by, you know. And I think he did think, like, I'm pretty sure he said he thought she was a little bit woo-woo, you know, a little bit out there, you know, because back in those days, no one was ever talking about, you know, how illness can be a sign of tensions on your consciousness. And, you know, Louise Hay was, you know, out there and one of the first people who did that. And that's where her Heal Your Life book came from. So there you go. All right. Someone on Instagram is saying, you know, Eckhart Tolle says you should see everyone as your equal. I mean, I'm sure he's my equal as a human. I'm sure we're all equal, you and me and Reed and, you know, Mahatma Gandhi and everybody. But at the same time, you know, he's the whole head of Hay House. Like, that's something. Anyway, and it's a bit like saying, you know, you meet Brad Pitt, you're not going to go, oh my God, it's Brad Pitt. Kind of, in a publishing kind of way. You know what I mean? Anyway, I've got a card here. Who's for a card? Louise Hay was a pioneer. She certainly was. I got to meet her at her house in San Diego, which was amazing. Genevieve says, I think she started with Florence Scovel-Shinn. I don't think she did, but that would make sense if she did, but I've never read that. I've never ever read that. But maybe she did. Maybe she did and I just haven't read it. Florence Scovel-Shinn, if you don't know her, amazing. The Game of Life and How to Play It is one of her books, and Your Word is Your Wand is another of her books. Calming down now. I'm going to go for a swim in a minute. Purple Papillon says he talked about a monk with sweaty hands. Who talked about a monk with sweaty hands? I need to scroll up a bit. I don't know who talked about a monk with sweaty hands. Oof. All right. Anyway, who's this card for? Put it in the comments if this card is for you. Who is this card for? Yeah, everyone's saying, I know what you mean. We can all aspire to have success similar to our role models and mentors. Yeah. I can't explain it, but I am a bit starstruck when I speak to Reed. What can I say? Tony, it's for you. Priscilla, it's for you. Tracy, it's for you. Amy, it's for you. Oh, 1980s bully may be me. Come on. You got to commit. One or t'other. One or t'other. I want to see what it is now. Here we go. Can you hear the waves? Oh. Very good sign. Believe in the impossible. Believe in the impossible. It's actually the blue moon card. So when I was creating this deck, I was like, I've got to have a blue moon and it's got to mean believe in the impossible. Now, this is interesting. This card is interesting because it's actually got two parts to it. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance that something one-off could well be about to happen. This card is a very positive sign if you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking for too much from the universe. Whatever you're asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it's important you believe in it. Oof, okay. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. Okay. Now, there's another, and the affirmation is, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. Now, there's another interesting side to this card, which maybe doesn't apply to anyone, but if you have had a worry and you're thinking, you're worried about something bad that happened and you're getting this card thinking, oh, I don't know what that means, believe in the impossible. But it actually means as well, if something bad has happened, it may only happen once. It may only happen once. There you go. So on that note, I am going to go for a dip in the lake. I've been working all day, and it's about time I went and had a bit of a relax. I actually swim at 5 o'clock, then I swim at 7 o'clock, then I swim at 9 o'clock. Last night I swam at about midnight. It's good because it's a lake. It's not like when you go swimming at Bondi Beach, you know, where you're scared the shark's going to come and bite your butt off. There's no sharks in the lake as far as I know. So yeah, there we go. You've got your card, a great card to push forward with plans. Believe you can and you will. Thank you for writing a script for me, Liz Craig Best. Very, very good. If you've received your diary or you're about to order your diary, click the link above because you can win a free reading with me. And I'm really looking forward to speaking to one of you. I'll probably maybe I'll do another competition at the end of the year as well. Yeah, I just want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. You know, like I can talk to you about your chart, I can talk to you about your future, I can talk to you about the law of attraction, I can do a card reading for you, whatever you want. All right, beautiful people, I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Hope you enjoyed your card. And unless tomorrow's Saturday, I'll see you tomorrow. I think tomorrow's Thursday, isn't it? Oh, Tracy says, how do we enter for a reading? Click the link in the description. There's a link in the description. You can just paste in your receipt number. And I think it's actually something to do with the more people you share it with, the more points you get. And the person with the most points wins the reading. I don't know. My team are doing it. I just said I'm happy to do a reading, however you want to do it. Nilu, no, I haven't done the chart today because I was actually scheduled to do the chart at 4 p.m, which was when I was also scheduled to speak to Reed, which if you just join me, you won't know what I'm talking about, but I spoke to Reed. So I'm actually just going to do it at a random time later today. I'll do 20 minutes, probably when everybody else has left the beach. I'll just go down to the lake and do it there. Okay. Lots of love.